Home, on the road, or coming off a grueling morning practice, a second nightly session with
by our big fella going on the point guard. We must keep the ball in. Oh,
what a pass from Lonzo Ball.
Deep three, Lonzo Ball. Straight away, NBA.
Well, I mean, this style of play.
Bonus for the remainder of the inning. Nice game. Ingram all the way to the rack.
10 in a row. Yeah, there we go. Good stuff.
Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram, they've never played for an organization, that was this aggressive. As you can see, the teams that they're on right now currently, Lonzo, obviously, with the Chicago Bulls, dealing with his situation. We'll get into that. And then you also have Brandon Ingram, currently still playing for New Orleans and the Pelicans and doing the goddamn thing. That's really an understatement. Brandon Ingram is just fish filleting right now, and they got the number one seed, the Phoenix Suns on the ropes right now. It's going to be interesting to see how that series plays out. Right now, the Pelicans, they just have done a 180, in terms of when Lonzo was there. It seemed to be like dead men walking, like they didn't really, like, what the hell are we doing here? We're not even going to get into what happened in L.A. We all know the city of Los Angeles, what happened with the Lakers. Like I said, we'll get into that at another time. But in New Orleans that year when they were traded, it was really like, if you want to consider it the playing year, because that was the bubble and all of that craziness. The New Orleans Pelicans finished 30-42. Really, they had a hell of a year that year. They finished really in that 7 range if the playing never occurred, and the way they were playing to close out that season, they really did well. But it seemed to be a cast of misfits. Obviously, they fumbled the bag in the bubble, but prior to that next year, they pretty much just wasted away the season. When you got rid of Drew Holiday and brought in Bledsoe, it seemed to be like it was no way they got aggressive in terms of getting the requisite parts that was going to be conducive for winning for Lonzo Ball, for Brandon Ingram at that time. You had Zion, he was dealing with his issues in New Orleans. Obviously you could look to the coach and it was a laughing stock. If you look right now, Lonzo Ball is being coached by Billy Donovan. Brandon Ingram is being coached by Willie Green. You see a complete difference in their approach, their game, and the way they bringing things to the table. Both of these guys have taken their game to a new level this season. Lonzo Ball was not able to finish it because he obviously, due to injury, he suffered. He wasn't able to get back, in time, for postseason play. But, hey, Billy Donovan put out a report. Hey, let's see what happens. We'll get into that later. I don't know. Like, he's still dealing with pain right now. If, let's say, hypothetically speaking, the Bulls were somehow able to sneak past Milwaukee, who's to say Lonzo doesn't come back for that second round? I don't think you rule that out. Let's see his status, if he's ready to go. Let's see if Chicago and Lonzo could pull a trigger on that, because I know people would love to see that, and it'll help Chicago. They'll be fully whole, in the second round of the playoffs, looking to make that conference finals berth. And Lonzo Ball could be the driving force for that. But we just looking ahead. Let's take our time. But Brandon Ingram, on the other hand, this guy looked like he got a chance to reach the second round with the New Orleans Pelicans. But back to what I was just discussing. For that team to finish like that, coached by Alvin Gentry. Alvin Gentry was fired. Lonzo was there for 2 years. He had 2 different coaches. If he was there for 3 years, he would have had 3 different coaches. Same thing for Brandon Ingram. He's been there for 3 years, 3 different coaches. I mean, it's truly a mess. The second year when Lonzo was there, they were the 11 seed, and they finished 31-41. They missed out on the play. They fumbled the bag a little bit towards the end of that year for whatever reason, and like I said, there was no CJ acquisition. Right then and there, you had Bledsoe, you had Steven Adams, you had a lot of players that didn't fit, players that just did not work out. It's wild. It would have been nice to see Lonzo playing there with a CJ McCollum and things of that nature. I think it could have took the team to a new level. You telling me you take out Fred Jones and Alvarado and you put Lonzo there? You telling me that's not a significant upgrade? I think so. But at that time you didn't have the pieces that fit. You didn't have the coaching. Lonzo was never coached by Willie Green, Brandon Ingram either. Brandon Ingram still was doing his thing, but it wasn't conducive to winning. Willie Green has brought a winning approach, to this organization and this franchise, and it seemed to be everything that they're doing is about winning. Brandon Ingram right now is just all world. In terms of his stat line, BI this year, he's putting up 22 points per game. And with the Pelicans, he was putting up 23 with Lonzo. It looked like he was averaging a little bit, just one extra point, but I don't think that's really not that serious. Still going at 46% from the field. That's BI doing his thing. So when Lonzo Ball, he averaged one extra point. I'm not sure how far we want to go crazy with that, but it would have been, like I said, I wish they would have if it was no CJ, brought in somebody else. Why didn't you get aggressive when Lonzo was there? It didn't seem to be they was trying to do anything. They could have still made these moves a season ago or something else. You had Hart on the roster. You had all of these guys, and it seemed to be they didn't really know what they were doing with them. It is what it is. I think because they pretty much brought the same guys back, just brought a few different pieces, but the nucleus was there. Brandon Ingram was the engine, that stirred everything. And it just looked like they put little different pieces around them, and I think it was more Willie Green that saved this season, because if you telling me you still got Van Gundy in there, there's nowhere in hell they're in this position that they're in right now. It is what it is. It's truly unfortunate. But I would like to know y'all thoughts on the situation there in New Orleans, why Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram couldn't play for a more aggressive organization. What happened? Why did they prioritize bringing in players that didn't fit instead of bringing in guys that would have fit well and gel well with Lonzo, with BI, with the guys? You had Zion there. He wasn't out the whole season. You could have brought in a different center, to fit with him. It didn't seem to be like it was built correctly, but give credit to these two players. They're on two different teams now that have split apart. And these guys are truly doing that thing. They're going to have great team success for years to come. It's just evident. Brandon Ingram looked like he's going to be a mainstay in New Orleans. Chicago, Lonzo looked like he's going to be playing for a winning organization for years to come. So it's going to be a true sight to behold. It's Flight Sports TV. Let me know y'all thoughts. Two great players, man. Shout out to BI. Shout out to ZO2. Y'all already know what it is.